Hi guys, lots of changes happening in Horizons now. Obviously the immersive home and new Central has been out for a little while now. But it looks like they are actually finally getting rid of Horizon Central and the newest incarnation of venues. I think it was labelled 3.5 pre-launch. Let's rock on with the show. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You hear enough surface level talk about the metaverse from complete outsiders. I'm here to show you what really goes on from the perspective of someone who actually lives it, runs clubs, and arranges social events across multiple platforms. I explore worlds, meet new and interesting people everywhere I go, and I bring you exclusive sneak peeks of what's happening inside. I also live stream regularly, so you can experience it with me in real time, and I make tutorials to help you build your own VR clubs, hangouts, and art spaces. If you're ready to see the Metaverse from the inside, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok for even more content. Let's get started. So, obviously everyone remembers fondly when Horizon Central dropped. It's around October 2023. It's seen a few changes since then, a few seasonal events. I think people really got quite attached to this incarnation. Well, it's the first incarnation of Central, who's believed to be the spiritual successor to the old Plaza, which they obviously got rid of quite some time ago. But it sort of had a more dynamic feel to it. It sort of actually listed more portals to different sort of community worlds, which is a really big step, to be honest. Yeah, it was definitely a step in the right direction to see that Meta was actually investing more about putting a spotlight on what the community was actually doing, and listing worlds that they'd made. And while it was sort of quite repetitive at first, it did sort of start opening up a lot more. They started including a lot more worlds. There was of course the donut stand, which gave you the ability to sort of jump really, really high after eating a donut. And of course the shop, which did start off as a big hat stand, and then sort of turned into a seasonal thing, and then just for the last year turned into some sort of Doja Cat publicity thing.
Who's Doja Cat?
Yeah.
Who's Doja Cat?
Yeah, no, I think people loved the structure of Central. As if the community in there was strong, you tend to see the same faces in there all day. Of course, you'd always get helpful community guides in there who'd be there to sort of show new users the way, teach them through how to do things, and generally try and keep the peace, although I'm sure that was a bit like herding cats at times. But yeah, I would say it was a wonderful area to sort of all ages. I know many adults sort of avoided it because all ages areas tend to be full of kids, and whilst that is correct, it was always good to see an adult presence in there at times, welcoming new users in also. So yeah, I think it's the old Central will be missed. It certainly had a lot of character, including all the different places you could just jump to. That's my personal favourite thing. I quite like challenging myself to see which areas I could jump to without using donuts. It's just a thing you do. I really like this last autumn theme. It seems kind of fitting that that's the last theme that they had in there, with the sort of the low lights. It wasn't always this way. I think when it was first published, it's quite bright. Standing on top of the tree seemed to be the way to sort of get away from some of the chaos on the floor sometimes and just observe it calmly for above, and all the little window ledges as well. It's kind of fun. But yeah, okay, well, onwards to Horizon Central, I guess, the new one. I'm sure that will also develop its own character over time, as sort of new seasonal events go in. And then lest we not forget the slightly more ill-fated venues. So the newer venues, of course, I think people were very much a fan of the previous version of venues. And venues has like seen some comings and goings. Like the very first venues, in fact, Horizon Worlds, don't forget, it was kind of just called venues when the whole thing started. The app was called Venues. But then obviously Horizon Worlds launched and we were treated to a whole new type of venues, which again saw some minor evolutions throughout the year. So the new venues, I think, came around December 2024. So yeah, this really hasn't seen a full year. It wasn't very popular. I think there were performance problems which put people off sort of congregating, and the frame rate was always quite jerky. And then I think the layout of it was just a little bit too bright. If you compare it to the old venues is much more so neutral coloured with some bright buildings. This is very much that's very vibrant. I think in terms of areas, I know it's I just think there weren't many great places to just stand and chat. Everything was just games. Quite like the USO area myself. Again, that's a bit like the treetop. It's just a nice place to sort of stand in and goof around. But yeah, so what's of course happening is that Venues and Central will of course live on in the whole new Horizon Central. They are actually different islands. So there's obviously the main sort of central sort of, well, the centre of it, I guess, were the building blocks. And then there's the clothing store just immediately to the left. And then you've got Horizon Central Venues at the far end. So really that new Horizon Central is going to replace this, basically. Although there's a whole new area then off to the right for portals to community worlds. And again, looking at the variation of those community worlds, there's a lot more variation now. It's a matter of definitely gone full pelt with throwing people at community creations, which is a really good thing, because honestly, those are the things that keep the platform running. It's the community builders, the people who are sort of tirelessly working every day to create great experiences for people of all ages. And maintain them as the system kind of evolves. And this jumping puzzle as well. Honestly, I really used to like the jumping puzzle back in the previous venues. That was always a thing to be mastered. You always used to catch people just trying to run on the edges of them. But this newer one just seemed a bit too easy, to be honest. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. I'm gonna end it here, but I'm just more capturing this for posterity, so when these areas finally disappear, they'll have something to look back on. Okay, thank you very much everyone for tuning in. I'll see you later.